Islam, Islam, Islam. Welcome in, welcome in. We'll get started shortly. Welcome, happy holy day. Let me get my words together. I should have brought me some water though. I got some tea. My fault. I got some tea. Do I got some tea? What am I drinking on? I'm drinking on a relaxation tea right now. I'm gonna tell you. Through the 7470 exchange while I get this set up. Let me tell you what I'm drinking. The tea that I made for me because I was like, I just need a really good relaxing tea. It's cold. It's snowing outside finally here. So I said, give me something that just to keep my spirit in high vibration because it's so cold, you know. So this one is the Velvet Midnight. That's what I named it. The Velvet Midnight Relaxation Blend. Yeah. And you know, if you in the chat, I'm gonna put. Let me put. Make sure that chat is sitting there so I can see it in case anyone comes in. But this is what I'm sipping on. In case you want to know, it is a blend of through the 7470 exchange. It's a blend of lavender, which lavender brings peace. It brings peace and it calms the chatter in the mind. So lavender is really good to have. Holy basil, the divine protector. The holy basil is the divine protector. Sister Isha Rael turned me on to that holy basil. And when I say holy basil is the business, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Um, it lowers your cortisol, so your stress levels in your body. It will, even if you just like rub the leaf and like inhale, it will like just calm you so well. So holy basil is amazing. Blue lotus, that's one of my favorites. That's a first eye. I like to say the first eye opener. They'll say third eye opener, but hey, first eye opener. It's a high frequency relaxation that induces a dreamy state. So it just helps you rest better and more peacefully. And it actually will open. It is an opener because you'll dream and your dreams will be very, very intense. You'll dream, and I'm not gonna say intensely like you're high or anything, nothing like that. No, you just have a really nice rest and dreamy state, and you can remember it, and it feels so calming and peaceful. Well, depending on where your mind is, you know what I'm saying, I guess. So yes, that's what that blue lotus does is in there. Then I placed ashwagandha and I did the root of the ashwagandha. So that's the root of the earth. It's deeply grounding. It tells your body the day is done because the day is almost done. When the sun goes down, you know, when I was growing up, the sun goes down, that starts the Sabbath, that starts the new day. So that's why I chose it too. Cinnamon. I put a little bit of cinnamon in there. The warmth circulates the herbs and keeps your inner fire cozy. So being in Ayurvedic school, which I've been so horrible at it because it's online. So I'm gonna be honest, I've been horrible at it. But you know, you have your pitta, your vata, and your dosha. You have these doshas in your body. So they're either fire, they're either spitting fire, they're either spitting like too much coolness, or you know, they might be just right. Pitta, vata, and oh man, I don't even remember my stuff. Oh, yeah, that tells you I need to go study. Ah, okay. So, but anyway, so in Ayurvedic, you use a lot of herbs and things like that, right? So, that inner fire is your pitta fire or your vata. Hold on, let me do this. And I'm probably saying it wrong, but you have a fire inside of you. Each one of us does. Women know when we get these hot flashes, that's where it's coming from. Like that's raising up. So it's so cinnamon's really good, but you have to be careful with cinnamon. You don't want to do too much. So that's what I am drinking today. It's called the Velvet Midnight Relaxation Blend. So if you're looking for anything like that, I do place them in tea bags. But I made this for a client that's dealing with some things. This is our and it's so pretty in the package. I'm sure y'all seen the the advertisement for it. This one is our 7-day heart reset. So this one is a heart for the heart, for helping your heart, for balancing and you know when you're going through, you know, sometimes you just need a little extra and healing herbs. Well, let me not say that because I don't want to say that word. But these herbs help you, you know, deal with the things that you may be going through mentally, physically, emotionally. And man, they are a lifesaver, I tell you. I'm so grateful for the people that have taught me because man, going through when you're sad and depressed and going through stuff of losing people and all of those things like this come in handy because I'm telling you, these scents will just awaken you. It will calm you. It will help you feel at peace. So we're going to get started with the presentation here soon. And I'm hoping I can see whoever's saying something in the chat. A lot of times when I start these new platforms, I have to get used to all of that because sometimes even with YouTube, my chat don't show up till later and I don't see it until later on. So I'm hoping I'm seeing everything. Let's see. Yeah, we'll show it there just so I can make sure I see. Um, greetings, Islam. I don't know what that is, but we're gonna keep it right there because I think I'm better to see it right here. Because the last time I didn't see anything. So sometimes this kind of gets in the way. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking on today. But y'all, I wanted to talk. I had such an amazing deal last night on TikTok. I was on someone's live. I know it was a Bay brother. I think his name is Myrell, or I don't even know if I'm saying the name right, but it was a very amazing build. It was exciting. It was refreshing. You know, it's always good when you hear refreshing mores come and they're just they're on fire. Like I said, that fire, like that cinnamon do, that fire. You know what I'm saying? They have that fire in them, and it is like it's so amazing to see, and it's just so refreshing when you run into them. The younger ones and the newer ones. I don't know if they're new, but I'm just saying, you know, they're new to me because I didn't know them. I didn't know them until yesterday. And I'm just trusting to build even better. But it was just we were speaking on the topic of what really needs to be done and what we should be doing as a nation. And how we can be better stewards over our communities. Right? So these were the questions, and a lot of times those are the hard questions that most don't want to answer or get into, or then it becomes this big debate thing. But no, last night it was just so great to hear how we want to learn to gather. We got to gather wherever we are. We have to just learn how to gather. Like we have to stop making the excuse that this ain't going on here and this is not going on there. We have to say, okay, where I'm at, let me make a stance in the area I'm in. Let me see what I can do in that area. So there's certain places we need to start to go visit. There's certain places we need to start to visit. And that's what this demonstration is going to be about tonight. It's the proclamation of the ancestral gates. You know, it to proclaim things, to claim them, because proclaiming has claim in it. Proclamation has claim in it. So proclaiming, calling it back to you, taking back what's yours originally. And it doesn't have to be taken by force because anything that was already yours, what does it have to be taken by force for? The people that it don't belong to probably had to take it by force. But when it comes back to those that it truly belongs to. There's no force. There's a force, and it's a force to be reckoned with. The man's power can't even control this one. It has to. It's gonna do its duty on its own. Islam. So we're gonna get started. Mm, I was trying to get this other thing up in case I need to use it. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. That's a yes, that's what that is. And I know it's probably a lot of people on right now about to do these holy day meetings that we always need. So while I'm waiting for that to decide whether it wants to act like it likes me today, we're just going to get started with the meeting. And I trust you all are doing well today. We are going to tap into some things. We're going to talk about some amazing things tonight that can help us. That can really help us because we have to really come to this solution part of everything. And we really have to start gathering for these solutions. We don't need to talk about them, we just need to start doing them, period. No matter where you are, I don't care where you are. You can start where you're at locally. You don't have to be in a certain state, you don't have to be in a certain place. You can start right where you are today with it all. So, all meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We're going to sit in silent meditation. Everyone can sit in silent meditation, but I am going to recite our Moorish American prayer. All right, Islam, Islam. We turn to the east, representing going within. So even though we're in the west, as they would say, we turn to the east as going within. You know, so there's no east without a west, and vice versa. Um, we put 5 fingers on the left, 2 on the right, with our heels touching one another. Excuse me, I'm a little like off today. It's cold out here. Islam. So we put 5 fingers on the left, 2 on the right, heels touching one another, standing on our square. Some are saying last night I heard, oh, the 45 ain't. You know, it's always something else with something else. But I'm going to say from where I was taught, I'm going to stand at that 45 and recite the Moorish American prayer. Because I'm going to raise myself to my highest anyway, just through speaking. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. I am Islam, Islam. So I want to first rise giving the highest praises to our Father God Allah, the Father of the universe. That's the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The Father of the universe, Father Universe. I want to also rise giving the highest praises to the Mother Allah, the Mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. That's your higher self. I want to rise giving high holy honors to our illustrious and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who brought us this message of love. He brought it to us. It was up to us to learn it so that we could go out and teach it to the ones that don't know about it. Not to say you would be perfect at it, not to say that you're going to know everything about it, but it's the fact when you get a hold to the information, it gets you excited and you should want to go share it because it's really good news. You talk about spread the good news. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought the good news. Islam. So I rise giving him the highest holy honors for bringing this. I'm giving the most high honors also to all the illustrious prophets for all the wonderful works that they brought unto us, because they brought us wonderful works. Even as much as man has demonized, we would say, I don't even know if you could say that on these things anymore, but as much as man has pulled down, we'll say lowered the frequency or the vibration of what religion was once about. You know, when I was growing up, it was about going to church with your grandparents. My grandma in Pueblo was Baptist. My mom and them 7-Day Adventists. So no matter which way I went, I was gonna always be a church as a child. Because hey, a child's gonna do as the parents is gonna do, and the parents are going to church. Grandma's getting up to go to church. So we gotta give these things that we do, we must do them and do them with honor, because the ones that came before us, they sacrificed a lot to bring us this information, to bring us this knowledge that we sit upon. So we're grateful for all the divine prophets, for all the wonderful works they brought into us. Because even through our families, we have family members through our bloodline or our lineage that literally traces us all the way back to these amazing, noble things and noble people that we are. And it's all from love. Certain people just came around and they just decided to pull it down and make it just bad. And so now, all around the world, now you're watching people have a whole religion war. When most don't even realize, like, realign yourself, and then you'll step out, you'll lose that shadow that you keep think is chasing you, and you will open up to see something so much different. So it's sad to see it. So we got to give high honors to all the prophets for all the wonderful works that they brought unto us. Islam. My apologies. I'm giving honors to all of you that are out there, wherever you are, whether you're on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, or any other platforms that this may be streaming on. I give honors to you. So before we get started, we always got to clean house. Cleaning house is something we got to do. So give me 1 second because I'm going to turn this off. All right, so let's clean house before we get started with this presentation on the proclamation of the ancestral gate. So salvation, Allah, unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday, today, is our holy day. Hey! Looking like mommy. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday, the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday, the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Realize I'm saying Muslims, I'm not saying Muslims, but it's still their holy day too. Our holy day is all over the world because it only means peace. That's all that Islam even means. That's not even a religion. That's what the word means. It's really an action. It's a verb. So Act 3, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4, all members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and partial of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5, this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. So I want to say something about that before I continue, because you'll hear when we're going through the laws, you'll hear us say the government, then you'll hear us say the said government, because there's, you know what I'm saying, there's two wings to a bird. So the said government is what's being said. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's that true government. The government, which is the original, which is who we are, which when you look at it, it's going to be United States of America, because it's America, it's a Mexican. So those are the United Nations that come together to make America. So that's why nationality is important, because a nation is a state. That's a people. So we need the nations to know that we're a nation of people, not just a community or a city of people, or based off of, the names that were given to us, our last names or our titles, as I like to say. It's really that we're proclaiming everything that it is for us. So that's why it's important that we proclaim a nationality, because that's how you're known. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. So when you hear me say the said government and the government, just know that one is the real government and one is the fake government. Islam. It's a de facto, as they would call it. So Act 6, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why the great God Allah great God Allah of the universe ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. We're going to get in more into that also, because we talked about descendant some nights ago, what the descendant means. So we have to understand what that even means, but we also even have to understand he's putting this in terms of today's language, because this is today's day and time, they would call it that. But we can trace it back and know that that's not even the original name of the dominion. Egypt, the capital dominion of Africa. But Africa is not that. It really could go back to a Mexam when we go back into the text, where that's where we're getting America, and we're finding out where all these names that they switched it letter by letter to take us away from who we are. But someone has to come back to show us who we are. And the only way that we will be known to the government in which we live and the nations of the earth, because we can know each other as, yeah, we Black, We can know each other as African American over here. But the nations, when you go nationwide, what do they call you? There's nobody that has a passport that's going to say anything but American. If you're an American, you're not going to get anything else. They're not going to put black on your passport as a nationality because it has to attach to a nation. That's what it has to attach to. So when they're coming back, this is how they're giving us our estate back so we can understand what it is to be a nation of people. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Noble Drew Ali is the founder of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science that later became the Moorish Science Temple of America. That home office of Noble Drew Ali is in Chicago, Illinois, USA. So we're going to go through these 5, and then I'm going to give honors to 6 and 7 so we can get through the demonstration. Islam. So these are additional laws because just like a 10 commandment, there's always more commandments. No different than the 10 commandments in the Bible. There's more than 10 commandments. There's other laws that come. So these are additional laws for us to go by because we have to build this character. And this is how you would have a government. This is why this is called a constitution. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh is the governing head of our temple. All business of said temple must be approved by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, before being acted upon by any member. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the member to sacrifice finance, that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under a heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. So literally, you could be impeached throughout this movement, no matter who you are. And you know what? The spirit of Allah, through the prophets, will come and remove you. A man don't have to. The spirit will remove you. So even when you're hear me talking through here, the chairman, listen to the government setup. They have a chairman. They have a house speaker. It's the same way. He said we would have to learn he would leave him here long enough to teach us how to run a government. Because we're going to have to run our own government. That's nothing bad to that neither. But that's why we should be learning strategy as things are going on so we don't make these same hiccups again. Act 2. All members are to attend their adept meetings and public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case. And on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. Nobody else's but yours. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund. Because it does take finance to uplift the nation. It takes finance to do anything. So it takes finance to uplift the nation. If a nation ain't got no finance, you can't uplift the nation. Act 4. All members, while up making a public speech, my fault. Act 3. Go back, Latay, going too fast. It is the lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people. And justice must catch you. Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. See, these are things that we're being called to. We're being called to. I love you so much, Sissy. We are being called to this because we have powers invested in our hands too as God's children to save the nation. So if we got to enforce law, we should be enforcing law in order to save the nation. I see people out here getting rid of these pedos, and they're just your every average day American. They're your every average day American that's getting them up out of here. So they're enforcing the law because they know the power is invested in the hands of the children of Allah or the children of God. We're the warriors to God. All of us are. Act 4. All members, while up making a public speech. I love you so much. Oh, I thought you. My fault. All members, while up making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group. Because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You know what? And that's one law that's hard for all of us to even stick to. Because we know as soon as somebody get mad, we speaking all kind of ill against them. But we're not supposed to. The prophet said we're supposed to learn how to love instead of hate. That we're supposed to learn how to love instead of hate. So as much as we have separation in all groups and all organizations, we have to learn how to love instead of hate. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school. Then your mom, you had to go to Sabbath school or Sunday school. You didn't have a choice to go to either. You had to go to Sabbath school or Sunday school, depending on what day you went to church. So even in that, all members must promptly attend their meetings because your mom and them would be at their Sunday school meeting or their Sabbath school meeting. My mama and auntie and uncles and them was at their Sabbath school meeting. So you must send your children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself or herself to the questionnaire and let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so. Because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Because out from these Sunday schools, when you were young and you was in Sunday school and Sabbath school, yeah, they were building you up to be the guiders of the nation. That's right. They was building you up to be the guiders of the nation. And we had to go. We didn't have a choice. Children got a choice now. They got a choice of what they want to eat. They got a choice of whether they want to get up and go to church. When we was growing up, ask my sister, we didn't have that type of choice. That wasn't a choice. It was not an option. And whatever you didn't want to eat, well, I guess you're just going to be hungry then. Because whatever they cook, that's what you eat. So we didn't get to say, oh, well, I didn't get this. Well, they did. They fed you. It just probably wasn't what you wanted. Right? Right. So I wanted to go over that. We're going to get into this amazing demonstration. But I want to read this first. And it's not long, but it's from the literature. It's from the prophet's literature. And it's Savior of Humanity, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. In this electrified age, men are racing into this life without complete knowledge of where they are going or what the end will be. When riches seem to be their only pursuit. I know he did. When riches seem to be their only pursuit, to be obtained anyway and at any cost. When selfishness, avarice, greed, and lust dominate their very being. When humanity in general is left at the mercy of those who have no mercy in them. It is truly wonderful and astounding to see one come into this mad human drama for the sole purpose of saving humanity. Losing all sight on those things worldly and yielding absolutely to a cause higher than has ever yet been attained. This picture is the likeness of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who is serving humanity, coming as he does with the message for the nations in somewhat the same manner as did Jesus, Mohammed, Buddha, Confucius, and other prophets of their day. Only the things of this prophet's day differ from the ills of the days of the past, and yet the remedy for the ills of today is about the same as the remedies for the days past. All turning about the pivot love, love for humanity. Humanity must be lifted up out of the unwholesome depths of poverty, misery, and suffering, and placed on the solid rock of salvation. I want to show you a picture that this is our receipt. It's our receipt of what the prophet means when he says that. So let me pull it out. Let's hope I can get to it. I'll be having so much paper. All this paper. Is it in there or is it in that? It might be in this other one. Hold on a second. Give me a second. So I gotta grab that folder so I can show you what I mean when I'm saying what he's saying. Because people take humanity and they think one thing and not understanding. Oh, what did I do with my 101? I gotta find the 101 that I had. Well, anyway, on the front of the 101s, and let me see if they're in this literature package. Because if it's in this literature package, I can show you the picture on the front of there. And what's going on so you can understand what he was saying about the Savior of humanity. And this one doesn't have it in there. Dang it. Okay, so on the front of the 101s, it's Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and he's holding up the woman like this. He has one foot in the water and one up on the solid rock of salvation. But on that woman's dress, it says humanity. So humanity is the mother. So when you hear me saying humanity must be lifted from the unwholesome depths of poverty, misery, and suffering and placed on the solid rock of salvation. Mother has to be loved again. Mother wants to be loved on again. And I'm not just talking about this physical mother or the physical woman. I'm talking about the higher essence, the higher self. And that is the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life. That's Mother Earth. That's Mother Nature. So even when we're looking at humanity from that standpoint, if we look at it from a esoteric spiritual standpoint, that's humanity that we're speaking of. We're speaking of that Mother Nature, that divine mother. We must lift mama back up. So we must go love our mama again. If that means getting in the soil, if that means growing you some food, whatever that means, you have to go start touching mama again because she needs to be loved on. She needs to be lifted up from the unwholesome depths of poverty. We've mistreated Mother Earth. We've treated her like she means nothing to us. And suffering and placed back on the solid rock of salvation. So not only us as divine mothers in the physical on this rim of this earth rim or this earth plane, but we're even talking, we got to go higher because there's other planes of life. There's the soul plane and the spirit plane. So all of this humanity has to be lifted up from the unwholesome depths of poverty. There are some who claim to do this, but upon investigation, one finds that they have slouched under the wings of their cross to extract from those who come to them means by which they can have the pleasures of this life. So like I say, it's very esoteric, but also it's very earthly too. Everything that we speak of from this. While they point their followers to joy after unaliving, while they feed their sheep, they also shear them while eating. At the close of their day, The master will be heard to tell them, "You have your reward. Get thee hence." Rare is it that you find a real prophet whose mission is the salvation of the nations. The land is full of false prophets whose mission is to fleece the people. This was written back in 1920s, y'all. The time was and now is that there should come into the land a prophet in the likeness of his brothers to redeem them from sin and slavery. Truly, this prophet, Noble Drew Ali, is the man bringing with him the message of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which alone can save the nations. Like the coming of Jesus, he does not come from the elect, nor the rich, nor the mighty in worldly power, but all power is given unto him to do good. This power is from Allah. This power is from God. It will be his works that will make men of every nation accept the truth that he brings. It will be through his teachings that the nations of the earth will understand the will of the master. It will be through him that peace on earth and goodwill to men, to all men, shall come. It will be through his works that humanity will be brought from the slime of life and placed on the solid rock of salvation. That's Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So us, even us as the women, because we've been held down, we've been, unalived many times on the cross. It's crazy. And we still get unalived daily on the cross. So we gotta know, and we need everyone to know that it's gonna take the uplifting of us, of out of these perils and this murkiness of life, and bring us back to that solid rock of salvation, so we can be as divine as we need to be. The divine mothers, the divine feminine, whatever they want to call it. We have to get back to that, because we're going to be the ones to raise the vibration. We're always the ones to raise the vibration. This is why I titled this The Proclamation of the Ancestral Gate. So I just want to take a moment to just breathe. If you got any questions or comments, you can put them there. But I just want to take like 10 seconds to just take like 3 big old deep breaths in and blow out through your mouth, like a breathing exercise. So literally placing your feet on the ground so you can ground yourself. Don't cross them. Put your hands on either on your knees or to the side, and feel your chest. Feel from the belly to the chest. Just fill it up and hold for like 3 seconds, and then we'll let go. I don't want to be too relaxed because of that tea. My little blended of tea, my velvet tea that I've created today. So the proclamation of the ancestral gate, and I'm gonna share my screen too because I want to show y'all these what we're talking about as we get into it. So peace and honors to the prophet, and peace to all the faithful. Tonight we gather in this digital square, not as strangers, but as the true heirs of a vast and holy estate. We reflect upon chapter 47 of our Holy Quran, which reminds us of our lineage from the ancient Moabites and the dominion of northwest Amexa. So remember, you heard me say we're the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. So now I'm going to go to 47 because I want you, and 47 has just been a topic because it's so in tune with what we see what's going on today, even on the news. This is how intentional Prophet Noble Drew Ali was. And he didn't have to put it in a humongous book, but to be able to even get to 47, which is the last chapter. No, it's not the last chapter. It's the one before the last chapter, because the last chapter is the end of times and the fulfilling of the prophecies. But chapter 47 in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexem, the first true and divine name of Africa. The dividing of the land between the Father and the Son. Islam, it all belongs to us. This is the whole thing. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa. And northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa, or Amexem. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. With their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren, who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, Central America, the countries and islands, and also Mexico. And also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands before the great earthquake, which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. As the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile westward across the great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, Black, or color race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. What your ancient forefathers were, you are today without a doubt or contradiction. There is no one who is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers, unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator, Allah himself. These holy and divine laws are from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the uniting of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. So these laws are strictly preserved by the members of the temples of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, that they will learn to open their meetings and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. 15, I'm going to go down to 15. The time has come when every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers, because we're quick to not follow what our forefathers followed. We want to follow what someone else is doing, right? So we have to go back to what that creed was and what those principles were that our families were. That is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774. And the word Negro, Black, and color was given to the Asiatics of America, who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father, and straight after the gods of Europe, whom they knew nothing of. And that's some real talk. Like when that says that, we did stray after gods of Europe we knew nothing about. We didn't go back to fight the power. We didn't go back to that. Okay. We didn't go back to fight the power. We didn't go back to those things. We didn't go back to ladies first. We didn't go back to that. We strayed completely away from what our forefathers were. We forgot about X Clan. We forgot about these things that helped us be proud of who we were. When my sister used to break dance on the corner of the neighborhood with her boombox and her she had a boombox, she had a with an 8-track on the side, she had some cardboard, but they gathered and got together, they had fun, they danced. They weren't beefing like that. Beefing came later because it was really about uplifting us. When the real hip hop really came out, it was uplifting us. We wasn't in New York. We was in Colorado. So it was uplifting us. So when we look at that, you have to say, what have we signed up for? We signed up for these things that have really took place. We have been voluntarily volunteering ourselves to be this because we strayed after something that we're not. And that's period. That goes across the border to everyone because everyone suffers slavery. So in chapter 47 of the Holy Quran, it reminds us of our lineage from the ancient Moabites and the dominion of northwest of Mexico. We recognize that the ground beneath our feet, the mounds, the sacred earth, and even the stones beneath the modern city is holy ground. As it is written in Joshua 5:15. And if you want to pull your Bibles out, you can look up Joshua 5:15. There it says, loose thy shoe from thy foot, for the place whereon thou standeth is holy. That's why grounding is important. Grounding to go outside is important. And these mounds are important. The mounds are very important. Last night on TikTok, they were talking a lot about that. And they were like, what could we do? Go to the mounds. We all need to start going to the mounds of wherever we are and let mama feel our energy. This is what I'm saying. No, I didn't. No, you didn't. What, talk about you? So she can feel our energy. She can feel we're real. She can feel we really want her. She can feel that we love her unconditionally when we do those things, when we ground back to her. So loose the shoe from your foot. All that rubber under your foot ain't doing you no good. For the place whereon thou standeth is holy. Every place around the so-called America is holy land. This is holy land. We come tonight to wake up the memory of the land. We come to tell the ancestors that their children have stopped wandering and have begun to return. We're returning back home to the mounds in the north, the east, the west, and the south. We send a frequency of unity. We clear the air of the lower self, of discord, of doubt, and of division. We activate the high self, which is your higher self, your God self, as taught in chapter I, knowing that our spirit is the spirit of God. It's the spirit of Allah. And that spirit cannot be fenced in, locked away, or forgotten. Though we are many miles apart, our intent is one. Tonight is a demonstration of power through peace. We are the living stones. We are the returned crown. Let the vibration of this room reach the deep earth. Let the mother know her children are awake. Let the mother know her children are awake. So tonight we're not just talking about dirt and grass. We are talking about the dominion of Cush. And chapter 47 tells us that this land was given to the Asiatic nations. Nations. That's an S at the end. Not one nation, many nations. We are the owners who forgot we had the key to the house. We the owners that forgot we got the key to the house, y'all. We don't have to ask nobody for anything. We don't. That's something else. Ain't that something else to forget you got the key to your own house? Where my key at? You can't find your key. We got the key to the house, y'all. That's something. The dominion of Cush. So this biblical link connects us to Genesis 13:17. Okay? In Genesis 13:17, it's quoted, "Arise, walk through the land in the length of it, and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee." So walk in the land. This is visiting these mounds. We need to walk the land. Is a legal and spiritual act of possession. Have you ever heard somebody say, "Oh yeah, when you go," I lived in the South so long, so they do stuff like this. When you want something, they'll tell you go walk around it so many times and profess it's yours. And by the time you know it, if it's yours, it's yours. What did that just say? That it even says in Genesis, what have we signed up for, boy? I just say, boy, slavery has been a choice for majority of us for a long time. So walking the land, visiting these mounds, is a legal and spiritual act of possession. Yes, I'm ready to go. I'm ready. Been ready. I've been ready. I love the mounds. Cahokia, I'm about to show y'all some of them Cahokia mounds in just a moment. And how even with the Cahokia mounds, when I was going, how much it is relating to this right here. All of it. Watch when I show you. So there's the secret, right? The secret without the secret. So I'm going to go into chapter 1 and I'm going to read, I'm going to be reading through. There's a secret in there that it reflects on the spirit man. So this is the way that you would need to, this is your code of conduct, I would say. We would say that. Ground at the mounds. Yes, sis. Yes. Ground at the mounds, because if it speaks it in Genesis, if it speaks it in Joshua, if it's speaking it in this circle 7, come on. The prophet was so intentional. He knew exactly what we needed when we were going to need it. So this is our code of conduct. So I'm telling you something without telling you something. Chapter I, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Chapter I, the creation and fall of man. Time never was when man was not. If life of man at any time began, a time would come when it would end. The thoughts of Allah cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend things infinite. All finite things are subject unto change. All finite things will cease to be because there was a time when they were not. The bodies and the souls of men are finite things and they will change. Yes. From the finite point of view, the time will come when there will be no more. But man himself is not the body, nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah and a part of God. Man is not the body nor the soul. So as much as we get caught up in the body, and as much as our soul gets moved, we're neither of those. We're the spirit. We're spirit in a meat suit. Spirit in a meat suit. That's what I would say. Creative fate gave to man to spirit man a soul, that he might function on the plane of soul. Gave him a body of flesh, that he might function on the plane of things made manifest. And think about who creative fate is. Why did creative fate give to spirit man a soul? That he might function on the plane of soul? Why did creative fate give to soul a body of flesh? That he might function on the plane of things that are made manifest. So as we're functioning, if you can see, it's moving. Energy is moving. So just as my sister's saying, go to the mounds and ground. Yes, we're going to go to the mounds and ground. Because as you can see, if we're not, our energy, our spirit is felt when we touch these places with our feet, our hands. Even if we're laying in the earth, our bodies. We're all a part of this. So creative fate gave this body flesh that it might function on the plane of things that are made manifest. So hear now, ye cherubim, ye seraphim, ye angels, and ye men. Hear now, O protoplast, and earth, and plant, and beast. Hear now, ye creeping things of earth, ye fish that swim, ye birds that fly. Hear now, ye winds that blow, ye thunders, ye lightnings of the sky. Hear now, ye spirits of the fire, of water, earth, and air, them elements. Hear now, O everything that is, or was, or evermore will be. For wisdom speaks from the highest plane of spirit life. And that higher self is the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. So when we say wisdom, we talking about divine mother, wisdom. Mama speaking out of the highest plane of spirit life. Man is just a thought. We're a thought of Allah, the Father and the Mother. All thoughts of Allah are infinite thoughts. They are not measured up by time. For the things that are concerned with time, begin and end. The thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past unto the never-ending days to come. And so is man, the spirit man. But man, like every other thought of Allah, was but a seed. A little bitty seed that we was, right? A seed that held within itself the potencies of Allah. Just as the seed of any plant of earth holds deep within itself the attributes of every part of that special plant. So spirit man, as seed of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah. Now, seeds are perfect. Yeah, as perfect as the source from which they come, but they are not unfolded into life made manifest. The child is as good, perfect as the mother is. I want to go back to not unfolding like these seeds. So this is my first time for my first garden of my own in Colorado, right? So now, every time somebody was giving me seeds to put in. So now I have to plant more because some seeds ain't no good. Some seeds ain't going to sprout. Some seeds ain't going to come out. So you got to, plant a couple of more. Make sure you maybe instead of doing one, you do 3. So just in case something don't sprout, you're guaranteed something will. Let's trust. I already got greens coming. So cute, right? I'm so excited. But these seeds, every seed holds within itself the attributes of every part of that special plant. And so do we. We hold within us as the seed of Allah. We hold within us that too. But as perfect as the source, so now seeds are perfect as the source from which they come. But they are not folded into life made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So the child is only as perfect as the mother is perfect. So man, the seed, must be deeply planted in the soil that he might grow Unfold as does the bud unfold to show the flower. The human seed that came forth from the heart of God was full ordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, or God, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil soul. So soil and soul. Look at the sole of your foot, the soil of the ground, and your soul. They're all connected, literally. That's why this grounding method is so important. This is why our ancestors didn't have on shoes. They didn't wear no shoes way back when. It was barefoot. They grounded. They kept grounded. It kept them focused. It kept them grounded. It kept their foundation sturdy. And as you see, as things were falling into place, as things were falling, when she's saying, "Here now, ye cherubim, here now you can see the falling phase of it, the higher vibration falling into the lower vibration. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed into the soil soul. It grew apace, and man became a living soul. He became the Lord of all the kingdom of the soul. Hark now, and let every creature hear. The plane of the soul is but the ether of the spirit plane, vibrating not so fast. And in the slower rhythm of this plane, the essence of life are manifest, the perfumes and the odors, the true sensations, and the all of love manifest. So even when you're thinking of this seed and how it has to go in the ground, you need to ground them feet. Your bottom of your feet is that soul that needs to touch that soil. And it's like a seed when it touches it, because honestly, it feels the vibration. And she's loving the fact that we do these things. When we do these things, it shows so much honor to Mother Earth. It really does. We don't even know how much love that she's so excited to know that we appreciate her, that we appreciate everything about her. So that's our code of conduct. Being that seed and planting ourselves into this ground, into this foundation, so we can plant ourselves back upon this solid rock of foundation, solid rock of salvation. So the mounds are amplifiers. If you go there with anger, you're going to amplify your anger. If you go with love, you'll amplify love. You'll amplify love if you go with love. So I'm going to show you. Hopefully this is going to let me share my screen. Did it say share my screen? Let me share my screen. Hold on 1 second. For some reason, I think again. No. No, I need a window. Oh, it's a window. A window. Okay. So we have been here before. We've been here. We've been here. Did it show it? We've been here. These are mounds. These are our people. These are the Cahokia mounds. Actually, I took these pictures when I was at the museum. So these are actual pictures of this museum. Inside the museum, rather. So is she, did you show me? Let's see, is you up there? It's not up there. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to go to the next one. But I want you to peep that. Nobody had no oh. Nobody had no shoes on, y'all. Nobody had on shoes. Nobody had on shoes. Nobody had on shoes, okay? Let's see. Hide that one. Wait a minute. Now I need to take you off. Let's see. Did something else come up? I can't tell. Nope. Okay. Let me see why I can't get this thing to move for me. Maybe I gotta pull it up closer, but I want y'all to see these mounds if I can make it decide to go to the next slide. And let me go to the next slide. Okay, well, we'll just have to put another. Oh, I can't do that. Do that. I can't do that, lady. Okay, so let's just stop sharing it. We're gonna replace that one, and we're gonna go with. I want to show y'all because I'm trying to get to the part where you can read up on this thing, right? So let's see. Did it pop up? It didn't pop up. Yeah, this one's new for me. So I'm not used to this because this one's new for me. This is a whole new platform I'm using. I'm like, oh yeah. Okay, well, we'll say this. I'm gonna hide this one and we'll come back. We'll come back in a second so I can show y'all, okay? We'll come back in a minute. Let me pull this one off of here. Stop sharing the screen. Okay. So maybe I can do it now. Let me go to it and find out what I'm looking for. So give me a second. Oh, did you really? Okay. This is what I want to show. This is what I want to show you. Yes, yes, yes. This is what I want. Okay, so let me see. We got to keep you right there. We got to keep you right there. Okay, now let me see if I can do this again. Let's see if we can get it to come up this time. My fault. I know, Nay. Ah, it's so hilarious. Okay, so I want you. So this is actually in the museum at the Cahokia Mounds. This is actually up. I hope you can see it. Can you see it? Are you able to view that? Is it pretty easy to see? The recorded history, because as I was talking about 47, but I want you to see what this is saying. The recorded history of Africa extends back thousands of years in the area of Egypt. What did I just tell you? Chapter 47 said Egypt, the capital dominion. What did I tell you? Egypt. Let me just say it right so I don't want to misstep it. Chapter 47, Egypt, the capital empire of the dominion of Africa. And they're saying Egypt's where? 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 So, if you can read that, the rest of Africa was not described until the beginning of the age of the Portuguese exploration in 1415. You can see it good. Okay, good. So, I'll let you just read it. And this is actually in that museum. So I'm saying the receipts are all over the place if we just half of us may not have known. I mean, I didn't even realize the person that was always taking me there, how much knowledge he was dropping to me until this stuff started coming. I started unfolding throughout this Moorish science. I would have never knew that. And this was years like before I even became this involved into Moorish science. It was like at my very beginning. Okay. Did you get it? You can even snapshot it too. We're gonna go to the Cahokia Mounds. I promise we're going. We're gonna go, sis. I think you would really enjoy it. I know you would enjoy it. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the other map. Because there's even maps in there. This map was in there. Um, this map was in there. Let's see. Do I need to expand it? Do y'all need to see it more? Can you see what it says over there in the corner? The key to success. Cahokia location in the geographic center of things brought the Mississippi culture into contact with different people and ideas. One Mississippian secret of success was the ability to learn about and improve upon what they found around them. Because travel was limited to, I can't even see what that says. Walking and canoes. It is likely the Mississippian primary contacts were high. Oh, I can't even see. I can't even see it with the glasses on. Goodness, let me see. Can I pull it up in these? No, it ain't even let me expand it. Oh, there it goes. We're capable of walking or running long distance. Oh, look at that. Primary contacts were with their closest neighbors. Yet data shows that Indians were capable of walking or running long distances in short periods of time, and that Cahokians traded far and wide. Cahokians traded far and wide. So peep this. When you looking at the map, how we and then now look how they did the map. We used to just walk these things. It was nothing until they put these borders up and these places, but we used to walk for miles and run long distance. The Cahokia Mounds, y'all. Telling y'all, the Cahokia Mounds are like so dope. I can't even see which one that is, but okay, we're gonna stop sharing for a moment because I wanted to show you that. That's where we're gonna go. We have to go. I can't wait. I'm telling you, you're gonna enjoy it. The museum is amazing. Teaches you how they grew squash and all these. It just tells you about everything that went on here forever ago. This is one of my most favorite ones. I'm not gonna kid, but this was one of my most favorite ones on there also. Because it gave a headdress to tell you that these headdresses aren't nothing new. I didn't push share my screen. See, I got to get used to using this thing now. It's like it's a little intense. You know what I'm saying? So, these are amplifiers. So I wanted to show you because even if we were walking and running long distance, amplifiers, the bottom of our feet, it was so in tune with the earth. So in tune with the earth. So when we go to these sites, I want you to go in your local area. Like find some just around you, even now, until you can gather together. See what mounds you are around you. And even when we come, Nay, we need to find out what mounds are around you. Let's go to these mounds. So when you go to these sites in your local area, you must be in your higher self. You must be in a high vibration. Because if you're in your lower self and that fear and ego and hatred, the ancestors will not recognize your frequency. Some people wonder why they can't connect to the ancestors. What is your frequency saying? Because our ancestors are light. Their heart is as light as a feather. So they don't need no heaviness. They don't need no issue. They don't need all that. So our energy has to also be in a certain space when we're going to even invoke our ancestors. Before we do anything with our ancestors, we're supposed to cleanse ourselves, cleanse the area that we're even coming in contact with them in, all of those things. Even when you're putting out libations for your ancestors, that water needs to be changed. You don't just leave it there because you don't want to just drink no dirty water. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you, sister. I really appreciate you, sissy. Um, we want to go in high vibration. So We're going to do a mental demonstration. And I want everyone to just do this right now. So I want you to just close your eyes. And I want you to visualize the nearest mound to you. I'm going to do my best to visualize the nearest one to me. There's many, but just try to visualize the nearest mound to you and what that might feel like to you. What that experience will be. Like, what do you see? I could just see for miles. I wonder what you see. What you see, what you see. Well, keep it to yourself what you seen, but I hope you were able to literally visualize yourself there. I will tell you what I seen. I had on this dress, this long, flowy white dress, and it was just blowing. And I was standing so high on this mound that I could see everything. I just seen so far, and it was so green and so pretty. We have to go into our imaginations like when we were children. To when it says to close your eyes and visualize, like you when you was a child and you was talking to your imaginary friends and all of that. That's what we got to do when we tap in like that. So we go in the higher self and we do that. So by closing your eyes and visualizing it, you can visualize what you will be feeling and how you will be feeling when you go amongst your ancestors. What type of energy you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do when you can just visualize it. And you can do that at any time. So I want you to think of some affirmations to say to yourself. Even when you might walk past the mound, you might go walk to the mound, you might not go up the mound. But I want you to have some affirmations of unity with you and the ancestors. Whether you use the Moorish prayer, whether you go in and you use the Lord's Prayer. Whatever prayer you might want to use or affirmations you may want to put to it. But do an affirmation of unity between you. That's the silent soul prayer between you and the ancestors. Energy flows. Well, energy follows thought. Let's say that, right? By collectively focusing on the mounds across the country at the same time, we are warming up the land before we even arrive. So even by us just doing that, and we might be doing it simultaneously, different times, but it's the fact that we're aware that we should be doing this at times that we're just in spaces of peace and quiet. Let's close our eyes and visualize being at these mounds and calling back and loving our Mother Earth. So let's warm up the land. We got to warm up the land. It said warm it up and get it ready for us. Just by visualizing, just by this thought, because your thought creates everything. That's the manifest. Your thought creates the manifest. So in the Moorish, and we're almost done here. We're almost done. We're almost at the end. The Moorish Holy Quran, chapter 1, chapter I, as we like to call it, Akhenaten. The spirit of the man is the spirit of the Allah. We teach you that your feet are the electrodes and the earth is the battery. The earth is the battery and your feet are the electrodes. Remember, in Joshua 5:15, loose thy shoe off thy feet. Take them shoes off your feet. For the place where you're standing is holy. So we must teach the importance of sanity and humility. The Moorish Holy Quran, chapter 45, the divine origin of the Asiatic nations. This we prove who is doing the ceremony. It's not just people, it's the true heirs. So in the divine origin of the Asiatic nation, which is chapter 45, This is the last chapter I'm gonna go over because we at the brink. We at the brink. But to understand when doing this collectively, why it works, why this works. Islam, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 45, the divine origin of the Asiatic nations. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America. Now let me go back because you heard me say the divine origin of the Asiatic nations because it's more than one. But you hear me say the fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation, one nation of North America, needs to learn to love instead of hate and to know their higher self and lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca for the teaching and instructing all Moorish Americans, etc. That means earth, territory, or country, no matter where you are. The key of civilization was and is in the hands of the Asiatic nations. The Moorish, who were the ancient Moabites and the founders of the holy city of Mecca. The Egyptians, who were the Hammatites and of a direct descendant of Mizraim. The Arabians, the seed of Hagar. Japanese and Chinese. The Hindus of India, the descendants of the ancient Canaanites. Hittites and Moabites from the land of Canaan. The Asiatic nations of North, South, and Central America. The Moorish Americans and Mexicans of North America, Brazilians, Argentinians, Chileans in South America, Colombians, Nicaraguans, and the natives of San Salvador in Central America, etc. All of these are Muslims. That's muscle, organs, skin, limbs, electricity, mass, and something. I'll break it down to you. I don't know it quite like that, but I do have it in my notes. But we'll come back to that. But yes, that's what he's meaning. What makes up a true human? The Turks are the true descendants of Hagar, who are the chief protectors of the Islamic creed of Mecca, beginning from Muhammad I, the founder of the uniting of Islam, by the command of the great universal God Allah. So we have to understand what true Islam means in its essence of peace, not how they've made it evil, not what you see on TV when they're saying they're trying to come up against somebody. That's not what we're talking about. They have infiltrated and usurped every religion on this planet to make it to where it goes against, you'll go against each other. When none of them are being right to nobody. If you want to be honest, ain't nobody doing right to nobody. Because even if the other side was living to Jesus's word, they wouldn't be doing wrong to nobody. Same as Muslims. So this fight that's going on right now, this back and forth, even through that, it doesn't make sense, because if you were of God's and you were God's children and you know God is love and you know Jesus is love and you know these prophets is love, then you would be acting in love. So it shows the side you're really on through the way that you're acting and the way that you're showing up and representing these quote unquote religions. We have to come back as a collective, because I'm telling you, to do so, we save so much of ourselves through this. So we know who's doing the ceremony, because I just gave you the divine origin of the Asiatic nations. So these are the people that should be at the mounds doing what they do. You're the one doing it. It's going to take us. It's going to take each and every one of us that know this. So some may ask, well, what do I say to the dirt? Or what do I pour? So I would say join that local circle. You might have one. If you don't, let's create one. Get in the right spirit. And when the time is right, the spirit will move you. Tonight, I'm just giving you the map. The key is found through your own sincerity and the study of the Holy Quran. And the Holy Quran, I'm going to be honest, is really the study of self. If you pick it up, it's really about you studying yourself. That's all that it is. So when it states that, don't think it's taking you into a religion. It's not. It's just teaching you that sincerity and study of self. So we got a homework assignment because we all need to be finding a mound in our area. So we're going to find a mound or an ancient site nearest to us. I want you guys, it doesn't even matter. It could be a park. Sometimes you don't even know the history of the parks that we be by because they're on top of something. So no matter what it is, no matter what you may come across or go by, you may just be out, but find an ancient site or a mound near you. I want you to read a chapter of, it wouldn't matter, read a chapter of something uplifting, whether it's the Holy Quran, whether it's something out of the Bible, but read it 3 times before you go. You go there, stand in silence for 19 minutes, and I want you to just listen. Like, don't. Just listen. Listen to everything around you. 19 minutes. So whatever you can find that keeps you, I don't care if it's some verses to a song that keeps you uplifted. Say it 3 times before you go. And when you get there, just stand in silence and just listen, because you're going to hear still small voice within that's going to start speaking to you. And that is Mama, the divine mother. And she wants us. She wants to feel us. She wants to know that we love her, we respect her, and that we appreciate her for everything she gives us. Because she's the one mother that gives us suck. We have one father that's the protector. We have a mother that gives us suck. The Mother Earth is who gives us suck. Mother Nature is the suck. She provides the food through that. So when we're mistreating her, desecrating her, throwing trash on her, whatever we do to her, we're not treating Mama right. That's our mother. It says if we treat our mothers and fathers right, our days may be long on the earth land. Obey your mother and father, though your days may be long on the earth land. But we must treat them right also. Because you'll be held, you don't know what you'll go through if we don't. Because they're the most important thing. That's how we're here. Not only through our physical parents, but our soulful parents and our spiritual parents. So that's what our homework is. And next Friday, I just would like to know what y'all did and what you found out. What did you discover in your area that you didn't even know it was there? And you was like, man, I started tapping into the ancient things that are around me. Look what I found. So I want to know too. I'm going to be looking and see what I done came up on that I never knew was there before. So that's our homework. We're going to come back here next Friday around the same time. And I'd just like to hear from you guys to see how it all went and what it was like. All right. So all meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We'll all stand as we say our Moorish American prayer. We turn to the east as going within. I put up 5 fingers on the left with 2 on the right, my heels touching one another, standing at a 45 degree. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Islam. Y'all have a good night. Thank you, Sissy, for coming on. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace and love.